Welcome to Infinity Reviews. So yeah! Woohoo! Oh, that's a great line. That is a great line. Eve. Hey guys, what is up? And welcome back to another movie review. And today, the movie we will be reviewing is A Quiet Place Day 1. A movie that I had on my most anticipated list. I believe I had it at number 8 for my one of my most anticipated movies of 2024. This is a franchise I very much like. When I watched the first one, it was at a time when I really couldn't handle the horror genre. I was still very scared of horror, and I watched it, and I got through it, and then over the years, I've gone more into the horror genre. I've played horror video games. I've watched a lot more horror stuff. But really, Quiet Place 1 was really got me into the horror genre. I'm like, okay, let me go check out some more horror stuff because Quiet Place 1 is I think a really, really great movie. It was John Krasinski's first directional debut, and he came out and it was a massive hit, and it got a second movie which I didn't think was as good as the first, but was still a pretty good movie. And now we got A Quiet Place Day 1, which John Krasinski would not be directing. It would be directed by Michael Ceranosky, and I've talked about this in the past. He did direct the Nicolas Cage movie Pig, and he's kind of been collaborating with John Krasinski recently. I think he had a part. He did some stuff in If as well, but this, I think, was his big first studio movie, and I think he hit it out of the park, guys. This movie is terrifying. Let's just start off what I thought about the movie. The movie's terrifying, and so every time one of the aliens, alien monsters shows up, it is the most gripping and eyes glued to the screen scenes in the movie, because I would be in the theater, I'd be eating my candy, drinking my water, and whenever an alien showed up, I would just stay still, and I'd be like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? No, 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 no. And I was scared. I was so into it. And that's what you gotta do with a movie, It's been a while since I felt like that watching a movie, where you're glued to your seat. You can't even focus on what you're eating, You're just glued to the screen. It's oh my gosh, I don't know what's gonna happen next. I don't want to happen next. And I love this movie. I have to say this I think is better than the second one in my opinion. This is better than Quiet Place Part 2. This was great. The really interesting thing is okay, how can we make the Quiet Place franchise different? We followed this family for 2 movies, and we kind of did stuff with the hearing aids. We kind of, we already know it's a word. We have to be quiet. What can we do? Well, what they say is okay, what if, not if the aliens crashed in a small town. No, what if these alien monsters crashed in one of the noisiest cities in the world, New York City? What would happen? And basically, it was said in the beginning of the movie said that New York produces average sound of 90 decibels, and that they said that is basically a constant scream. And so when the aliens crash, they just go out, start murdering everyone, and it's horrifying, terrifying. You see in the trailer, with Lupita Nyong'o's character walking around, seeing the cars flipping, fire, end of days, and every time I've said it's every time again, every time the aliens show up, it's just so terrifying, because they are terrifying creatures. They are they're not your nice aliens, the little green men. No, these are horrifying aliens who rip you apart to shreds. And I thought the story was great. It's a let's talk about, the story and the characters. This story follows Lupita Nyong'o's character named Sam. And, this is a little bit spoiler, about what, so they don't really specify it in the trailer, but her character has a type of cancer. They don't say what cancer it is, she just has cancer. And, she's in this, basically in this place where she's going to die. It's one, I can't remember the name of those type of homes right now, but you send old people and people where there's nothing left you can do. They stay there and die. And one of the persons, she's the youngest person there. She's a poet, and that's where we meet Alex Wolf's character, Ruben. You've seen him a little bit in the trailers as well. And like he's kind of like they're kind of buddy buddy, but he's like a nurse, and they decide to go to the city, see a puppet show, and go see a puppet show, and they go in, and that's where you meet Desmond Hansu's character. He was in Quiet Place Part 2, and he's there with his family. And then, she's like, okay, I'm going to go leave, take my cat, go buy some food. And then it starts. The invasion has started on Earth. It's just mayhem. It feels like it's like literal hell on Earth right now. And, they hide out in the theater for a little while. And, the whole thing is, she wants to go get a slice of pizza. A slice of pizza. Because, we don't really see it at first, but through the movie we see, like, she knows she's going to die. So if she's going to do one last thing in her entire life, she's going to go get a piece of pizza from her favorite pizzeria. And, she leaves the group, goes out on his own. And then we go for the movie, and of course we go meet Joseph Quinn's character, Eric. Eric is this person who's studying law in New York City, and he is from Great Britain, Britain, and he's there. He's got no one he can go to. He's all alone, and he kind of follows Lupita Nyong'o's character around as he's the only one she trusts. So they go on this journey together, across New York City, trying to get to this pizzeria. That's the whole point of the movie, getting to the pizzeria, to get a slice of pizza. It's kind of like the last sense of normalcy they'll ever probably have the rest of their lives. As everyone else is trying to make their ways to these boats to try to get off the island. And then, of course, they encounter monsters, you see the character, Lupita Nyong'o, has a cat, Personally, I'm not a cat guy. Not a cat guy. I was very attached to this cat. It was the most attached I've ever been to a cat in my entire life. And I'm like, please God, do not let this cat die. I cannot deal with seeing a cat being eaten by one of these monsters. And luckily, the cat does not die, guys. The cat survives. Thank God. And, I think also one of the best things about the Quiet Place movies, that's why I go a little the story review. The best thing about these movies is the sound design. The sound design of the monsters. Quiet Place, I remember seeing the second one in theaters. I didn't see the first one. I saw the second and this one in theaters. When the movie is just silent, you can hear everything everyone's doing in the theater. You can hear them eating the popcorn. You can hear them reaching for their candy, drinking a sip of water. And, I've never been in a movie like that. And it was just like it for this, How they use sound to kind of take you into the story. Whenever you see someone make, like, a sound in the movie, if that's footsteps or, a little jingle, on a door, or a creak in a door, like, oh my gosh, they're going to hear it, they're going to come get you, and they're going to come kill you. Like, get out, just run. And like, that's movie making at its finest, This franchise, I think, has done something, that's very special, created a new way you can tell a story, There's not a lot of movies, where you can tell a story through the sound, through, no one really, there's not a lot of lines spoken in this movie, guys. The Quiet Place movie, the thing is, it's a movie where it requires you not to speak. You don't have Lupita Nyong'o going into long narratives. You don't have a whole lot of talking. It's a lot of just like, talking through actions, using sign language, talking through character expression in the film. And, that's what I think makes this franchise so different from any others. Because I think originally this was not supposed to be a franchise. John Krasinski does a movie, it's like, oh, hopefully it does well. And it becomes like a global sensation. And now we got this. And also, Paramount. I love Paramount because they understand that they should not give $200 million budgets, even if this is a franchise film. This movie was made for $67 million. $67 million, and it looks like it's like a $150 million movie. And that's what I love. When these studios see like, okay, we're going to go make a Quiet Place third movie. We know that we don't need a budget of $200 million because first off, we're not going to make the money back on that. We're not going to make $200 million back on this film. So let's do it for less than $100 million. So like, okay, you get two big name stars in there. You get Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn, which Joseph Quinn is still up and rising, but Joseph Quinn is now a big name. And you have Digimon Hansu there, a big name, and Alex Wolff, who's somewhat of a name people know, from the Jumanji movies, and, it's like, okay, $67 million, and they can still make a better movie than most of these big studios' $200 million budgets are, and, like, that's what I love about Paramount. They're like, okay, we can make small movies that make a lot of money for us. Like, this thing is expected to make its money back for its entire weekend in its first weekend. Guess what movies can't say that? Furiosa can't say that. Madam Web cannot say that. Those are big blockbuster franchises that have been going on for years, and people are not interested in seeing them because, first of all, too long. That's my thing. Like, this weekend, we also got Kevin Costner's movie coming out. I was excited to see it until I saw the runtime. 3 hours long. This movie, I believe, it's about 2 hours, maybe an hour 56 minutes. No, it's actually an hour 39 minutes. I just see it right here. An hour 39 minutes. Perfect length for a movie. I get, like, for some movies, why you need to do 3 hours. Why you need to do 2 hours 30. 2 hours 40. For Doom Part 2, you needed that 2 hours 40 minutes. But for some movies, like Furiosa, too long. Too long. Furiosa is a great movie, but it's like 2 hours and 50 minutes. Too long for a movie. That Furiosa should have, in my opinion, been like an hour 50 or maybe 2 hour 10. That would be a good runtime for it. Then they got Kevin Costner's movie coming this weekend, which I'm probably gonna go see, sometime that review's gonna come soon. But 3 hours long, I don't. That makes me not want to go see it, and that's why people do not want to go see it as well, because you have 3 hours. Not only is that people don't want to go sit in a movie theater for 3 hours, but also that takes away screens. You look at the showtimes. That movie for Horizon is showing 4 to 5 times a day because it's so long. But you have a movie like Quiet Place, which is only an hour 39, so you can have much more screenings, and it's a franchise people know and love it. People love this franchise. It's got like so many great actors involved in this franchise. To Cillian Murphy, to John Krasinski, to Emily Blunt, to Digimon Hansu, now Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn. Lupita Nyong'o, I think, is I don't know why she's not given more lead roles, because she is great. She is a great lead. She carries the movie. She is such a good character. She also, in this movie, she has her sarcasms, but she also is very serious. And Joseph Quinn, I think, this is just his first step for becoming the next big star. Big name star, franchise star. But overall, guys, I'm gonna give Quiet Place day one an 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10. Because I would say I wasn't super attached to the characters this time. I like the characters, but I just didn't. I like the family so much in the original movies. I'm more attached to them, and I think the things that keeps me in this movie are the monsters. Whenever there's one of those scenes, like, they are really, really good. But what do you guys think? Are you guys gonna go check out A Quiet Place day one this weekend? And do you think it's gonna have a good box office weekend or a bad one? Guys, please make sure you like, comment on the video, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time, guys. Peace.